In real estate, landlords spend the money or build the house to get the full rent, while agent shows the tenants the house to get 10% to 20% of the rent. In real estate, the one who spends the money to build the house gets the full rent. The one who takes tenants to pay for rent that brings in the money to the landlord gets only 10 to 20% commission. That is the order. It is the law of subtraction with division. The landlord subtracts money to build the house and gets back money from the house as rent. That is 10 times division of the money spent. The rent may come in full, but it's never 100% of the money spent to build the house. The rent comes in after a full year, but it's never above 20% of the money spent to build the house. What the landlord gets per month from the annual rent is never up to 3% of the money spent to build the house. No matter how the rent is raised, the money spent to build the house never comes out of the rent in one full year. This is a law of subtraction and division at work. It is considered as wealth by popular investment books, not because the people who spend their money this way actually become wealthy, but because the money spent needs time to mature before it gets fully returned back or recovered. Time here is of a medium to long-term consideration, often spanning a number of years from 5 to 15 years. Hence, the classic order of investment in big projects follows the same pattern known as law of subtraction and division. It was designed for the rich to momentarily part with their money for good projects that help society get developed while remaining stakeholders in the development projects that rewards their contributions over time. Real estate investment, thus, is a focus on housing projects development. All landlords are part of this development. The goal is not to enrich them the more, but to convert their money into meaningful projects that will make them feel wealthy and secure for the long haul against the fear of losing all their money over a short period of time. People choose this plan to invest mainly as a result of their fear of loss, dread of poverty, and low risk tolerance. Real estate feels more like a safer option, and like many similar options that offer apparent safety net for the rich, they are all subject to the same law of subtraction and division. This law doesn't mean loss happens as a result. It doesn't mean negative outcome. It rather means large-scale cuts with small-scale gains that take and repo the cost in a longer span of time, often exceeding 1 year for returns. It is a convenient idea for rich people or people who feel insecure about their money and want to feel safe without losing the potential for small gains. It is supported by the idea of investment for development of society and filling gaps to contribute to the advancement of humanity. It is suitable for the rich people seeking future certainty or financial stability. The lesson here is not to discourage you from applying the law of division and subtraction, but to help you assess yourself properly, to know your actual capacity and its potential when you understand how the law works and what alternatives are out there. The questions for assessing your capacity for applying the law of subtraction and division to your financial planning right now are as follows. 1. Are you rich in terms of having a great income that puts your spending power at the level of millions of naira monthly? 2. Are you earning a stable income that adds up to a couple of millions within a couple of months? 3. Are you confident in your ability to earn from your current stream of income enough to sustain you and your dependents monthly for 5 years from now if you part away with your millions saved up right now? If you have answered yes to all three questions, then the law of subtraction and division may be convenient for you also. But if you couldn't answer yes honestly to all or any of the questions, then you need to understand that a different law might apply and the alternative could be more suitable for you, even with your current capacity. The potential of applying the law of subtraction and division when it is not suitable for you is that it becomes a trap that buries your money, makes you endure hardship, breaks up your spending power, and causes strain and financial friction in your life over time after spending. It may not ultimately make you poor, but may erode your riches over time by putting you under pressure until you liquidate, that is, you sell off your holdings, when you can no longer bear the strain of lacking or giving away your spending power. But if you adapt quickly and endure the strain, reassess your spending habits and cut off some wants, you could cope fine afterwards. That notwithstanding, if you cannot cope with hardship and the result of losing your riches temporarily, then you need to apply a different law. This is a law of addition and multiplication. Unlike the law of subtraction and division that favors the rich seeking immediate security and long-term financial stability while looking wealthy, and is suitable for people who will not feel any strain after spending on large-scale development projects, the law of addition and multiplication isn't supported by public institutions and regulators, and the public is often warned to avoid ventures that apply it, termed high risk and unsafe. The majority of people have grown more afraid of applying the law of addition and multiplication because the government wants them to choose safety and wealth preservation over risk-taking and wealth multiplication. This explains why high-risk opportunities are flagged for their business models, and people are advised to approach them with caution. But what they do not tell you is that high-risk ventures actually follow a law that makes you rich even to change your life from the status of being poor over a short span of time. High-risk ventures could be suitable for the poor, but is discouraged because they may be unable to cope with the consequences of their choices if the risk results in a loss. In that case, high-risk ventures are more suitable for the rich and can be a means for the rich to empower the poor by taking the risk with them with a shared income plan. This is what has been missing out. The rich have been rather avoiding than contributing to the sustenance of high-risk ventures. Their avoidance cripples not only the ventures but also those whose lives could have been transformed by them if partnered with or empowered in and through the ventures. Let us look closely into how suitable high-risk ventures really are for the rich. The rich could create a leveraged opportunity for the poor through high-risk ventures. To do so, they could set out an amount of funds such as 10% of their typical investment in low-risk ventures and split it up into 10 more portions. Then, seek and select a number of high-risk ventures projects to partner with. The idea would be that each of the ventures that succeeds over a period of a year could potentially multiply the risked amount by up to 1 time, while the ones that fail could once only affect 1% of their typical investment capital. This plan has proven to work for the rich. It is called conservative risk-taking. Those who diversify their stakes in high-risk ventures potentially gain from diverse risk portfolios over time and turn small stakes into huge returns over a shorter period of time compared with those who rely on only one high-risk portfolio or take low-risk investment options of applying the law of subtraction and division. It is with this idea of leverage and diversification that the new program has been developed to offer same landlords and even agents the opportunity to get involved in high-risk projects like the Ventures Stake Funding Program. This is currently the only program that makes high-risk venture participation more suitable and accessible for people with low risk tolerance. The video exposes what is at stake here and how even agents who earned only commissions for rents they help landlords earn can actually earn an equal value of the rent landlords earn without being the ones spending the money to build the house. While landlords continue to get and earn same fixed amount of the full rent, for example 2 million naira per annum on a 2-bedroom flat that costs 5 million naira to build each unit. That is why calculating the highest amount of rent per unit of building for landlords who may have got their land through inheritance. An agent who formerly earned 400,000 naira per year from tenants they referred to the house as 20% commission, even without spending any of their own money on the building, can now be the ones earning what the landlords are earning. All they have to do is to be the agent of the landlord in a high-risk venture instead of being the agent in a low-risk venture. Where a low-risk venture like real estate earned the agent 20% commission from rent paid by tenants they only refer to landlords, a high-risk venture may not require them to refer anyone except they have decided to introduce same program to the landlord to test the hypothesis and what it states here. So, let us simulate this in real maths for agents to see clearly. For example, Agent Mark watched the video that talks about the Venture Stakes Funding Project, a high-risk venture, and understood that it is the best alternative for him to start earning like a landlord without waiting until he builds his own house and he is interested. He attends the stakeholders meeting for getting onboarded and makes the choice to stake the full amount of the most recent commission he earned, which is 20% of the 2 million naira paid to the landlord by the tenant he referred 3 days ago. And all of this was his stake. Total cost is 400,000 naira. After staking, he participated in a 90-day, which is a 3-month mentorship program, and it equipped him with the skill he needed to work as a high-risk venture stakes funding agent. At the end of the coaching program, he signed the agency contract to work as an agent of the venture in his location. His work as an agent did not require him to refer tenants again and again. It only required him to invite the same landlord he earned his last commission from to attend the stakeholders meeting for landlords. Agent Mark accepted to follow this law of addition and multiplication and informed the landlord about it. The landlord was skeptical at first, but when he told him about the risk involved and how low it was, the landlord considered it and was eager to attend before he finished spending the money he earned from the rent collected 3 months ago. The rent was already 50% gone by the time he attended the first stakeholders meeting as a landlord. As a landlord who collects annual rent, the meeting informed him about the benefit of staking his rent before spending it, where the same agent who helped him find tenants can now effectively work for him as the one who invited him to the stakeholders meeting. The full plan of venture stakes funding was then introduced, and he nods his head and chooses to stake his 1 million naira, As landlord, he realized that the 50% of the rent he had spent has gone without any new money coming in from it unless another rent comes in, which will take about 9 months. But the remaining 50% he is taking now will begin earning him 20% monthly income for the next 5 months. Then his full stake amount will be refunded in another 5 months, making it a total of 10 months for his money to get back to him. He did the maths and realized that staking gave him back even the money he had spent. After 10 months, it happened just as said. He got 1 million naira paid in 5 months and another 1 million naira paid out in another 5 months before his stake was fully dissolved. This taught him a lesson to value high-risk ventures even more than he had learned until now about investing. He decided to stake all his annual rent this way before spending any amount from it. He used this law of addition and multiplication to multiply the value of his rent, and over time he bought and built new properties to earn more rent and multiply its value through the venture stakes funding project that used the law of addition and multiplication. While the landlord was benefiting from it, the agent who invited him was not left out. All this while, the landlord thought the agent was still earning only commissions from his stakes for inviting him, and he thought the agent was only earning commission from the new properties he put the agent in charge of. But what he didn't know was that it was actually the agent who invited him that was the one working for him and paying him the monthly 20% he was earning. Remember that the agent had first been trained for 90 days before inviting the landlord. In the 90-day coaching program, the agent was coached on how to work for a stakeholder by becoming the stake fund manager directly. And to make him realize his potential, his own early stake of 400,000 naira was put to the test. Because of his training, he was able to manage his own stake himself. So he became his own boss first, working for himself by managing his own stake for 3 months while under coaching. The result convinced him to invite his landlord. By inviting his landlord, he would not only earn from his own stake alone, he would be put in charge of his landlord's stake also, where then he would earn from multiple stakes at the same time every month. So, how much was the agent really earning that the landlord didn't know about? That is where the law of addition and multiplication came to work for the first time in the agent's life. Being that he started by adding a new skill to his capacity, he has become capable of multiplying his income stream from the venture stakes funding project without relying on rents, commissions alone. With this new skill, he managed his own stake well in the first 90 days and effectively earned 400,000 naira per month from it, doing it all by himself while under coaching. In 90 days, his original stake had earned him a total income of 1,200,000 naira already withdrawn into his own account. And the best part was that he did it with the same commission he earned 3 months ago from rent paid to his landlord by the tenant he referred. Seeing how quickly he rose from 400,000 naira annual commission on rent to 400,000 naira monthly income from his stake as an agent, he decided this must be good for his landlord too. He took the 3 months record as evidence to show his landlord, saying, "I found this high-risk venture and I got trained as an agent. Now I have got back the money I risked during my training, plus profit. I think you should attend the stakeholders meeting for landlords." I learned that it is already helping landlords like you to turn their rent into high stakes that pay them twice the amount they earn from rent initially. He explained it further that he joined the agent stakes and it paid him this way because he was willing to put in the work as an agent who didn't have his own building. He further explained to the landlord that landlords who joined are already testifying to how they regretted not knowing about it earlier. They would have been multiplying all their rents and the rent they had spent that didn't get returned back while waiting for new rents. The landlord thought about it for 1 full week before making up his mind to give it a try. Even there at the meeting, his mind wobbled and troubled him. He was afraid of taking high risk. He had never risked his entire rent before except spending it for upkeep. The idea of parting with his rent, even 50% of it, was hard to accept, but he summoned courage and considered it. As he began celebrating his achievements from the decision he took that day, the agent returned to him and discussed with him about planning for his next rent in the same way. He told the agent that he has already considered it. He has got back his full 2 million naira within 10 months before his new rent came in a month ago. He told the agent that he would attend the next stakeholders meeting and will stake again. He did again, and then the agent worked for him again. By this time, the landlord staked the full rent amount of 2 million naira while spending the last payout from his first stake. Meanwhile, the agent who worked for him on his first stake had tripled his own income over the same period. By working for his landlord as a venture stakes agent, he himself didn't know he would make so much money in 1 year. He didn't know that the same landlord that was his source of 20% commission on rental income could become a ladder for him to climb up to the next financial level through stakes fund management for his landlord. While the high stakes ventures itself made only 200,000 naira per year from the landlord's initial stake as onboarding fee earned and 120,000 naira on the agent's own initial stake, the agent was the one who made the most amount of money. The agent got additional 600,000 naira monthly income from the landlord's stake he managed, that is, after deducting 20% on the total income for the landlord and 120,000 naira monthly fees platform maintenance that was charged by the venture on a stake-by-stake monthly basis. By the end of the first 13 months of joining the venture stakes funding project, the agent's all-time earnings had reached 11,200,000 naira total. He bought his first car for Christmas at the same time his landlord was receiving his last payout. The agent knew that he didn't need to rely on his stake amount alone, so he made sure to continue to work with his landlord, and by the next year, he earned 22,400,000 naira, while his landlord earned 4 million naira. The agent built his first duplex by December of the next year. This is the potential of applying the law of addition and multiplication the easiest way through venture stakes funding. So, choose how to start as a landlord or agent today. The options are only two. Start as a landlord if you are receiving rent in full, or start as an agent if you are earning commission on rent. This is the law of addition and multiplication that you do not find in textbooks and investment programs. Even the governments don't talk about it because they fear it and they want you to fear it as being too risky. But you don't have to fear it anymore because you know now how easy it is for you to get started right now. Start by attending the first stakeholders meeting in your category, either as a landlord or as an agent. Become a real estate agent for venture stakes funding VSF projects and make money from landlords you manage invited to the ventures funding stakeholders meeting. Start today. Attend the first VSF Agents Stakeholders Meeting. Book your seat with your first stake. So send your interest to reserve your seat to 0810-2427-303, 0810-2427-303. Planning to own a house without spending your own money? Talk with us at PSL Luxury Lifestyle brand to discuss the best plan for our Build First, Pay Later solution. We are all ears, only a DM away. Send your inquiries to 0810-2427-303 on WhatsApp, 0810-2427-303.